Hi, welcome to the show, the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, LVRS. I'm Jeff Barton, your host. Appreciate you coming by on Sunday evening at 4:30. Really happy you're here. Listen, this is a great paper, by the way. I'm sure everybody in town reads it, the Review Journal. And in reviewing it and looking at it today, one thing caught my eye, and I think it's really important to understand. There's an ad down here on the bottom of the page. Talks about selling your home for 1%. Ask yourself a question. Would you go to the cheapest surgeon in the world to get brain surgery done? Well, better yet, wait a second. Would you buy the worst car on the lot? Or maybe, I know this one, go to the best neighborhood and buy the most expensive. The best thing you can get that money can buy. That's really what you want, right? Look, I'm not saying that the 1% real estate agent is a bad agent. And I'm not saying that by charging more, it's a better way to go. But one thing about real estate, which is different than most other sales professions, is that it's a one-on-one relationship that you have with the person who's doing the job. And that relationship that you have with the person doing the job will be so close and so intense that it's almost like a marriage. As a matter of fact, when they rank the top 5 positions and how close a particular profession gets to a particular customer, real estate agent ranks right below doctor. So, as I'm saying, you're not going to find a discount doctor to do brain surgery. So when you're out there and looking around for the best real estate agent, and again, I'm not saying that the discount people aren't great, but all I know is they too have to eat. They too have to be able to send their kids to school. So we're all in this together, and the togetherness of it reflects the values of our own community here in Las Vegas. I live here. I want you to have a great experience with whoever you choose as a real estate agent. I know that when I choose somebody, I choose based on relationship, not on cost. Really appreciate you came here today to see us on the show. I'm Jeff Barton, your host, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising. And according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, and I'm your host for Las Vegas Real Estate Show, LVRS. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching. We are excited once again to have back with us a guest that came on last week, and we were talking about flipping when we ran up against the clock. And Omar Merced has been happy enough, or I'm happy enough to have him back on the show. Omar, how are you?
Doing great, and I'm happy as well.
Okay, very, very good, excellent. Couple things that get out of the way quickly. You're married.
Yes.
Okay, so this is your home.
Yes.
And Vegas is more than just some place to stop, make money, and leave.
You mean lose money and leave?
Well, that's what I mean, lose money and leave. I know a lot of the people that come to our city do so to have fun, but this is still a town of people that work, people who have jobs, people that have families, people that need schools, people that need hospitals, and that you've sunk your roots here. What do you like most about Vegas in terms of that?
I think what Vegas has to offer is unlimited entertainment options, not only on the Strip, but off the Strip. If you like hiking, there's a Red Rock Mountains. There, you want to go skiing, Mount Charleston, up that area.
Right.
Grand Canyon's a few hours away. California is a couple hours away. We're centrally located, but the plethora of things to do here in Las Vegas are, because first you have the Strip that offers all the shows and the food and all that, but you also have a local community that does the same thing with a lot of amazing, from water parks to food, food festivals and
Yeah,
fairs.
absolutely. I've come out here many times and done major triathlons out at Lake Mead.
That Lake Mead,
it's really a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
enjoy the recreation part of it. Last week when you were on the show, we began to get into the flipping,
Right.
which I think the audience is probably most interested in hearing. One aspect of it that I wanted to talk about today, the repairs to the house,
Right.
the repairs to the property. Do you have a crew? Do you do it yourself? Do you hire out? How do you work that part of it into your overall plan when you're looking at spread and how much money you're going to make on a flip?
Absolutely. So the contracting part or the renovation part is where most of the flippers make the mistake, besides the purchase. Obviously, you have to get it at the
You
right
have to buy
price.
right, of course.
But estimating the renovations, having that number, doing that accurately and quickly, because you have to act quickly in order to get some of these deals, is one of the, I think, the Achilles heel on a lot of the flippers or the people that want to flip homes. We're lucky that we own our homes, and so we have a crew that works exclusively with us. I'm actually in the process of getting my general contractor's license over here in the next couple of, maybe month or so.
Do you recommend that for people who are in the business? Obviously, those who are thinking about getting in the business have to know.
Right. Well, I think you have to clearly define what in the business is.
Okay.
For example, myself, this is all I do. I
Okay.
don't do anything else, and it's my sole source of income.
Okay.
So when this says it's my business, this is my business. I don't have a part-time job. I don't work anywhere else. I don't do
see.
anything. This is my sole, so I have to make sure that it runs efficiently and as well as possible. For those that are just starting, if it's a part-time, having your own crew to do it, you're not going to have the volume that you need in order to. So you're going to need a good contractor to work with, and you're going to need to be able to estimate properties based on. I do it based on the last previous flips that I do. I have
see.
a continuous spreadsheet of our cost.
And costs change over time, right?
Absolutely.
So obviously the last deal is the best indicator of what the cost of the next deal is going to be.
Yes, not only that, as you know, Las Vegas is booming, construction's here, and good quality contractors and subcontractors in trade, they're busy. I mean, they're busy, so if you do not have a good relationship or a long-term plan with them, unfortunately contractors, I say they have a shelf life. They're good for a while.
I agree.
And then for
Flaky
some
lot, I
reason,
think.
they just go, maybe the grass is greener, maybe it's just simpler.
They
or
overbook, things like that. Sure.
So that is a big, it's a big factor in the game. And so you have to learn how to try to put things in place to mitigate those risks.
Okay, common things that happen in every property that need fixing.
Paint, obviously paint, a good drywall, prep and paint. It's everywhere. I've never been to a house where you're like, oh, I'm not going to paint, everything's perfect.
Right, of course.
You got paint, you got flooring, you have your flooring, your tile person, your landscaper. I mean, it is a team. It's a pretty big team of people that
Sure it is.
put
You
that
have all
house
these
together.
disciplines that you need to put together in order to do the repairs quickly, efficiently, and at cost effective.
Yeah, it's not like the shows.
No.
Although we try to make it like
It's
that.
not like the
It's not
shows.
like the shows, but it is fun though, especially if you do love it.
Okay. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate you coming back on the show. We're going to have you back because, as I said, this is a never-ending topic that changes constantly, and I want to thank you. That's been Omar Merced, and I'm Jeff Barton, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hamilton Workshop Series, and I'm Jerome Hamilton. When you attend a Hamilton Workshop Series event, you're going to get hands-on education. You're going to get location scouting already taken care of for you, photographic lighting experience at the tip of your fingers through the whole event, pre- and post-shoot workflow as we work together with you to get through all the odds and ends. Also, at the Hamilton Workshop events, you don't just work with me. We bring in top quality published photographers that you get to work with side by side, professional mentors with you whenever you need it.
I've been a professional photographer for 24 years, and I have clients like Sports Illustrated, Target, Carhartt clothes, and I bring that type of experience into the Hamilton Workshop Series. No photographer is the same, and we understand that. What we do is we provide one-on-one quality instruction on how they can improve on their weaknesses. We teach them flash photography, we teach them natural lighting, we teach them what lens selection and what equipment to use to get the shots that they need. What we want the student to leave the workshop with is with confidence, quality of images, and an enjoyable experience.
At the Hamilton Workshops, we don't just want you to take pictures. We want you to learn to create images. We want you to think on your own. We want you to create a style. If you want to check out one of our next workshops, go to JeromeHamilton.com. There's a workshop page, check it out. We want to empower you to be the best photographer that you can be.
Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for watching and continuing to watch. We're excited about the show and what we can bring to you in terms of information about what's going on here in the Valley. We bring to the show every week great people. People who have knowledge in the business, people who've been in the business a while, and try to get a conversation going so that you can also hear what you may be thinking about, whether it's, you know, what's happening locally, what's happening nationally, but what affects here, the real estate prices, the mortgage rates, and everything to do with real estate here in Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. And of course, I'm Jeff Barton, your host. With me again this week is our panel, and they've been gracious enough to come back to us. Once again, hi, everyone.
Hey, how's everything going, Jeff?
Great, thank you. And I'm just introduce everyone for you. Of course, on my left is Tyrell Robinson, Big Tex Real Estate and Investment. And next to Tex is Rebecca Fitzgerald, who's a real estate agent here in Las Vegas. And she was just talking about doing some commercial real estate, so I want to get into that a little bit as the segment goes on. And of course, Charles Giscombe, who is a mortgage loan officer and secondary market investor for a number of different banks, both here and around the country. Welcome, everybody, and thanks again for coming.
Thanks for having us.
We had a very lively discussion last week about a lot of different things. Obviously, we have election that's happened, the legislative session, which has ended, but has brought about a number of different changes in both Las Vegas and in Nevada. I wanted to touch upon a couple of things. Obviously, we got a pro sports team, two of them coming to town, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how that affects the mentality, the psyche of the buyer and seller here in town, but mostly with all these things coming here, the availability of housing, how's that going to affect the housing both in the immediate and long term?
Well, one of the ways, I'm sorry about that. One of the ways as far as affecting the psyche is we do have some investors and also some homeowners that are thinking that if I can hold on just a little bit longer, by the time the stadium is done, hockey gets settled in, that's going to drive up the prices on our property because, number one, it's going to increase people that are Raiders fans, already know that are already making plans to move to Las Vegas, transferring from jobs. So that's going to drive up so much demand when it comes to the real estate market. So you do have some people out there that are trying to play the long game. In the stock market, you have the puts and calls, and they're placing that call on there to saying, hey, I'm going to hold out for a little bit and bank on that the value of my property is going to go up. So
the other side of that is, simply, the investors are going to have a field day. The investors are going to love this situation because at the end of the day, now they all become Airbnb guru.
Right.
Because now
that's true too. I didn't even think of course.
No, okay. So people have a misconception of Airbnb actually in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, as you probably know, is Sahara and up.
Right.
South of Sahara is Clark County unincorporated.
Right.
It is illegal to do an Airbnb in Clark County unincorporated. People are doing it, but it's actually illegal. You have to have it Sahara and up, and you have to have a business license. And Sahara and up is where the downtown is.
Right.
Again, like I was saying before, unless they're going to gentrify that area, like people aren't going to want to stay downtown.
Right.
And obviously she's absolutely right. I was just talking to some gentlemen who have some high-end houses out in Henderson.
What about Henderson? Right. What about the other end of town?
Summerlin,
what about
Henderson,
Summerlin?
all those different big houses, Red Rock, you have all those different places. Those places are going to be rented out for sure. Because there's investors and different individuals that don't live here or are seasonal.
I see.
When these teams come in here, they're going to be rented out. And they're going to be rented out for big bucks. And I don't necessarily mean Airbnb itself, but the concept of daily rental. You know what I'm saying? Sublease situation for people to come in because there's a lot of Raider fans. There's going to be a lot of hockey fans. There's a lot of people coming in. And then when places to stay, you got a lot of high rollers at the sea. This is the thing with Vegas. You got a lot of high rollers coming
yeah,
there.
this is the thing with Vegas. Vegas has the perception nationally, locally, that you can make a killing here.
Right.
Right?
Yes,
and that's
right.
kind of what people like about Vegas.
Right.
Win your shirt,
Absolutely.
lose your shirt.
Right,
Right.
exactly
Absolutely.
right. But how does that play into the and I always go back to this, the stability in the real estate market prices?
Okay, so I think that people have this perception of Vegas that we literally live in casinos.
Right.
Like, really, people
That's
think
correct.
this. Anytime people say, "Oh, you live in Vegas, it's too much partying," I'm like, how do you party all the time and
Right.
still pay your bills? Like, it's
Right.
impossible. So having these big teams come in is going to create it that we're an actual real city now. Like, we
Good
have
point.
these teams, we're a real city now, so it's going to bring other industries that are going to come here, plus our taxing here for businesses is like one of the best in the country. So it'll bring businesses to come here. They'll see it as more of a real city. They'll see it more as a draw. Like, it'll increase tourism because people are going to come see their team.
This is the dichotomy here, right?
Mhm.
You've got the perception and the reality. So this leads me into my next question,
Okay.
which is why I brought it up. What does Vegas want to be? Where is Vegas headed?
They want to be they want to be separated on its own by itself. The reason I moved here in 2003, when I played football, I used to come out here at least once a month just to kind of get a feel for the place.
Right.
In 2003, when I moved out, the decision I made to move out here was I did some research. Did you know? And when you say lose your shirt, win your shirt. In 2003, when I got here, it was the #1 city to live, to make 6 figures income without a college degree. #1 city to
What
live.
year is that?
This was in 03.
Okay.
And
right.
actually, it went on up until 06.
Sure.
#1 city to live, to be an entrepreneur. So as the stadium is being built out here, think of all the jobs that's going to
I
create.
agree with that.
Think of all the
100%.
vendors, the entrepreneur vendors, even hot dog, nacho, whatever you case. Those guys are going to be creating vendors outside the stadium. And so think of all the different other avenues that's going to be income streams that's going to be created for the families that are actually going to be moving in here too as well. So that's why. And then when you get into the housing market, for so to speak, with the sporting events, out in Henderson, we did an open house out at McDonald Ranch. The houses that are doing open houses out there, 14,000 square feet open houses for rent. And these houses are tailor-made only for athletes.
Right. I read that.
Not for
Yeah.
families.
Absolutely.
So again, what kind of city? I'll ask the audience. Anybody who's, where are we heading in Vegas? The perception, the reality, what's actually happening? The jobs coming to town, the sports teams. It's changing. The city's changing, right?
Yeah.
It's a city with two faces.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've lived in Henderson. I've lived in Summerlin.
Right.
I've lived in Southern Highland. The reality of it is a lot of those people that live in those areas never come to downtown Las Vegas.
Right.
That's
They never
true.
touch the Strip.
That's true.
They have whole communities with anchor stores and all these different things there where they don't have to come here. When I came here in 2002, the reality was I was dealing with professional athletes, and my thought process was a lot like Texas. My situation was the athletes will come here. There's no state tax.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
You cycle your money through here. You're good to go. You get to keep the lion's share. The other side of that situation was it was the easiest place for me to entertain.
Right.
My clients always wanted to do mortgage with me here
Right.
because they always want to come
Right.
see me.
Absolutely.
But the reality is that's what it is. So it's a city with two faces. Hey, listen, Vegas is Vegas. Sin City is Sin City. You don't ever want that aspect to go away because it's a draw. And with the sports teams coming, the tourist is going to double.
Okay. That's great. Let's move on. Okay. We talked a little bit about the perception of Vegas, the reality of Vegas. Okay. Let's talk about some nuts and bolts here. What's the housing inventory like?
Limited to none,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to say the least.
Well, housing inventory is limited to none at a certain price point. So anything it's getting up to, people are going up to 300,000. Over 300,000, there's houses.
Right.
Underneath that, because I mean, in a $200,000 house, what's the payment? Like
Might
$1,200.
be $1,300 top with everything else.
So
Right.
that's doable, right?
Right.
So then when you get up to 300,000, that's when it starts to get the numbers start to crunch a little tighter, and also the cap for FHA, I think, is about 287,000.
yes,
Right.
especially in Vegas, right?
Yeah, right now in Clark County, it's 287,000. So when you get above that, like, people are going to have to come out of pocket 20%.
Right.
So that's causing a problem on that end. So we're going to either have to raise that cap to open these other houses above 300, 400,000 because there's like multiple offer situations on anything that's around 200,000, and they just go so fast that there's nowhere for people to even buy.
Ben Carson come out here? You been out here? Does he get involved with this at all? I mean, he's our new HUD secretary, okay? So he's the guy that helps set the FHA rates.
I heard the Raiders are coming here, Jeff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and they'll be here before Carson. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
Okay.
One of the points that she was saying also with the housing market of FHA being at 287, see, back then was at 417. So you had a little bit more wiggle room. But now when you get over that amount, now it comes down to, there's more houses, but it also comes down to the families who can save more money now because you got to put more money down now.
Right.
All those, we have the Home is Possible out here that those programs, if you have a certain FICO score, you
Yeah.
can get in. But it's not going to qualify if you got in a $350,000 house.
Right.
So now, can you reach in your piggy bank and pull out $14,000? So some of the people can't do that. So that's the issue that's going on as well.
From a mortgage standpoint, which is obviously my thing, the experts, real estate experts here, at the end of the day, I think as a real estate agent in Vegas, you absolutely have to be a chameleon. You have to be able to diversify what you take care of. So you have an investment market that's always looking for investors. You touch that.
Right.
She said it's very competitive in that realm. Anything south of 300,000 is going to be a dogfight, right?
Right.
So I think now what we look at is we are in Las Vegas, and there are individuals that have money above 300,000 that will come and pay cash, and they'll also be coming to buy and finance these big homes. So the key for us is, as a real estate agent, I think that you should be able to touch all those bases. And as far as from a mortgage standpoint, we just got to be ready to do some jumbo loans, yeah?
Well, I think that's all true for us as professionals.
Absolutely.
The customers out there, I'm not sure about, because I don't know where the building of the new homes is going to come, the scarcity of land, the lack of some of the vision, and then, you know, the cost. And all these things are affecting because you're having an influx of people coming and living in this town. And every time we add something new to the city that attracts more people, keeps the city in the perception the way it has been, and still there are families that come here, there are people that want to open professions, medical research, the demand on housing, on water, on basic foodstuffs is really driving the market higher. Right. And so I don't know what the solution is. Let me move on to the next one. Rates on mortgages. Talk to me about that.
I mean, the rates are what they are. I'll tell you, me and Jeff used to speak about the rates all the time. Before the election, I was telling Tex and Rebecca off camera, I was getting people, refinancing people, and Jeff is aware of this too. I got them down as low as 2.25 30-year fixed.
Right.
Refinancing VAs and FHAs. And obviously, after the election occurred, the rates went up. That history is over. It's not going to be like that for a while. Obviously, everything is cyclical, but I don't know how long this cycle is going to be with the new, with the new.
They're going to raise rates 3 more times.
They're
what I read yesterday.
They're going up 3 more times, and we may be looking at, I hate to say this, we also may be looking at 6 and 7% interest rates again.
The rate going up isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because
no, I'm not saying it is.
It's not necessarily about people think it is, but it's what didn't happen before that caused this crash.
Right, correct.
If those would have gone up, like I said, the difference, like, when you have a 5% and 4%, that's a huge difference on a $100,000 house, So you're paying more per month. You can't afford as much of a house, so it stabilizes the actual housing market from crashing down to the bottom like it did in the past.
Absolutely.
And that's what didn't happen in the past. Those guys didn't care. They were just like, to put everybody into homes, just like sell it, and then sell off these jumbo loans, and the banks made all the money, and then blah, 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 and then it ruined us.
I think the key to it is that the only thing that is never affected in each market, from a mortgage standpoint and a real estate market, Rebecca, when you talked about this, and that is purchase. Purchases, no matter what. If you're going to purchase, you're going to purchase at 6% because that's all you got. You're going to purchase at 7%. The refi business obviously has gone away. There's no more refinancing right now, but we focus on the purchase market, and that's not going to change. And a purchaser, like I said, they have no choice. They're going to purchase at 5, 6, 7 because that's all they got. So we can focus on that. But as far as anything else, that's where we are in regards to interest rates. Jeff.
Last thing. Go on. I'm sorry.
One of the things as a consultant, what I do with my clients, I actually came up with a little solution as far as the interest rates and everything. What I'm doing with my clients now, and we just closed on a deal, is I have a client that wants to buy that $280,000 house, and the interest rate is actually, now that they've gone up, it's actually knocking their DTI out of the way. So I've had clients actually say, hey, would you be willing to buy this $150,000 house, because there's still some of those here, and allow it to go up to about 175, turn around and sell it, and use some of that money as leverage to put down on the bigger home and get your debt ratios in whack. And we just closed on one of those. Now she's going to be able to take the equity, being in the house for only 1 year, just sacrifice 1 year, make your 3 to 7% depending on the area.
How do they not pay taxes on that 1 year income on short-term capital gains? I thought it was a 2-year window you had to have.
It's a 2-year window, but they're 1031 exchanging it into
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
If you
Oh, I
exchange
see.
and it
I
doesn't
see.
change hands, absolutely.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
so what they're taking it, the equity from that house, because they only had $5,000 to start out with. Now they all of a sudden have $28,000 plus their $5,000 or whatever the case. Now they can move that over to the new house, either buy that rate down or put more money down on the property, get right into the house that they love.
And they're still good because they can do FHA loan at 96.5% or a conventional loan at 97%.
But what he's suggesting, you could is also have the possibility of getting rid of your mortgage insurance, which
Oh,
saves you,
absolutely.
Oh,
save,
right.
to save you
Down
$100,
payment.
$200
Absolutely
a month.
right. Okay, the last leg on the dog, so to speak, employment. Employment in the valley. Now, from what I see, it's improving. It has improved over the last 3 years. With these things coming to town, it's going to improve even more. It's going to trigger inflation here locally, meaning everything's going to cost more because people are making more money.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, there's no way to tell in the future, but not particularly. I mean, the housing market's going to stay, might go up some, but the costs of like food and things like that are determined by other states, not by our markets.
Because it's all imported.
Yes.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
And then also think about this. Let's say the stadium comes in, hockey, everything comes in. Let's say that causes 15,000 jobs. But remember, those jobs are seasonal though. So they're not all year round, so it's not going to be enough to trigger what you're calling like an inflation. So at some point in time, those jobs are going to end. Now they're going to have to find something else, the people that are working at those jobs. So any sports game is always seasonal. So therefore, it's not going to trigger.
I have a
Listen,
concern.
we are up against the clock, folks. Another great show, and we're going to have you back. Love the panel. Love the whole back and forth. It's great information. Really appreciate you all watching. I'm Jeff Barton, and we'll see you next time.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.